Hey folks, welcome to Personal Finverse, a channel built on one belief that the most important things about money are not complicated, they are just untaught. Every video here is honest, evidence based, and built for the person who wants to finally understand money properly. Let's get started. Somewhere in a drawer, a notes app, or a forgotten notebook, most people have a list of financial goals they wrote at some point, maybe on January 1st, full of optimism and fresh coffee, maybe after a difficult month where everything felt tight and something needed to change, maybe after watching a video or reading something that stirred something in them. And if you found that list today and read it, really read it, there is a good chance most of what is on it has not happened. And here is the thing I want you to hear before we go any further. That is not your fault. You did not fail those goals. Those goals failed you because they were built wrong. They looked like goals, they felt like goals. But underneath, they were missing the things that actually make a goal survive contact with real life. Nobody taught you this, not school, not your parents, not the apps that asked you to enter a savings target and called it a financial plan. So today we fix that together. We are going to look at exactly why most financial goals fall apart, what a goal that actually works looks like from the inside out, and by the end of this video you're going to have the framework to write one that will not disappear by February. Let us start where most people never think to start, with the question of what a goal actually is. Over the past 3 days on this channel, we have covered what money really is, the most expensive financial mistake beginners make, and what compound interest does to your money over time. Today is where all of that becomes personal, because understanding money without a goal is like knowing how to drive without a destination. The engine works, the road is there, but you are going nowhere specific. A goal is the destination, and not just any destination, a specific one with an address. Let us look at why that matters more than almost anything else. Write down the following phrase: I want to save more money. Look at it for a moment. It sounds like a goal, it has intention behind it, it came from a real place. But I want to ask you something. If you wrote that on January 1st and checked in on December 31st, how would you know if you succeeded? You would not, because there is no finish line, there is no number, there is no date, there is nothing to measure and nothing to cross. This is a wish, and wishes are not useless. They tell you what you care about, but they have no mechanism for changing behavior. Your brain cannot plan for more, it cannot schedule better, it cannot celebrate someday. Your brain, specifically the part of it responsible for motivation and action, responds to one thing above everything else: clarity. The clearest research on goal setting, from psychologists Edwin Locke and Gary Latham, who spent decades studying exactly this, shows that specific and challenging goals lead to higher performance than vague or easy ones, not sometimes consistently. Across cultures, ages, and contexts, save more money is vague. Save 50,000 rupees by December 31st by automatically transferring rupees 200 to one the first of every month is a goal. Read both again. Can you feel the difference? One is a direction, the other is a destination with an address, a route, and an arrival date. Now, here is something important. The difference between those two statements is not just practical, it is emotional. The specific goal creates a feeling of commitment that the vague one never can. When you write a real goal, something shifts slightly, the future starts to feel more real, and a future that feels real is a future you will actually work toward. So, you write a specific goal, an exact number, an exact date, and it still fades. This happens and it has a reason. The number is the what, but without the why, the deep, honest, personal reason behind the goal. Numbers alone do not have enough emotional fuel to carry you through the hard months. Let me explain what I mean. Imagine two people, both have the same goal: save $10,000 this year. Person A wrote it because it seemed like a responsible adult thing to do. They have heard they should have an emergency fund, they have watched some videos, they know the number, they set it up. Person B wrote the same number, but person B also wrote why. Because last year, when their car broke down unexpectedly, they had to borrow money from family, and they sat in their car after the mechanic left and felt a specific kind of helplessness, the kind that comes not from the car but from knowing that one unexpected event could unravel everything. They never want to feel that way again. Same goal, completely different fuel. When April comes and both people have had an unexpectedly expensive month, a wedding, a medical bill, a trip they needed, person A looks at their savings target and it feels abstract. something to catch up on later. Person B thinks about sitting in that car and they find a way. The why is not a motivational poster, it is load bearing architecture, it is what your goal is built on. Without it, the first difficult month collapses the whole structure. So, what does a complete financial goal actually look like? Let me build one in front of you piece by piece. We start with the what, the specific measurable target. Not I want to save more, but I want to have 1000 rupees in my emergency fund. Exact number, clear account, no ambiguity next, the when. An actual date, not this year sometime, but by December 31st of this year. Now your brain has a deadline, and deadlines, even self imposed ones, activate a different level of attention than open ended intentions. Next, the how, the specific mechanism. Not I will try to spend less, but I will automatically transfer 8,000 rupees on the first of every month into a separate savings account before I touch the rest of my salary. This is the pay yourself first principle from day 2. Now operating inside a specific goal. The mechanism does not rely on willpower. It is scheduled, it is automatic. It happens whether you feel motivated that month or not. Now, the most important piece most people skip, the why written down in full sentences. Not because I should have savings, but something like because I need to know that one bad month cannot derail my entire life, because I want to stop feeling anxious every time an unexpected bill arrives. Because the version of myself I'm trying to become is someone who is genuinely stable, not just earning but secure. Your why should make you feel something when you read it, if it does not dig deeper. Because I should is almost never a real why. The real why is usually about a feeling, safety, freedom, dignity, peace. Find it, write it, keep it somewhere you will see it. And finally, milestones, because a goal that only has a beginning and an end has nothing to celebrate in the middle. And human beings need to celebrate. Progress needs to be felt, not just tracked. Break your goal into 4 checkpoints for a rupees nor rupees goal over 12 months. NIT read 25,000 check in, adjust, celebrate month 50, Lord halfway. This one should feel significant. Month 9, 75,000 rupees. The home stretch begins month 12, 1000 day finish line. These checkpoints do two things. They show you that you are on track, which fuels more progress, and they catch you early if you are off track, which gives you time to adjust rather than abandon. If you are finding yourself thinking about your own goals right now, good. That is exactly what this video is designed to do. This channel exists to make finance feel personal rather than abstract. Subscribe for a new video every single day. And now the part most goal setting advice skips entirely. Life will not cooperate with your timeline. It never does. There will be a month where the transfer does not happen because something urgent came up. A month where you had to dip into savings instead of adding to them. A month where you simply forgot or got overwhelmed or both. And when that happens, this is the moment that separates people who eventually reach their goals from people who do not. The question is not whether you fell behind, it is what you tell yourself when you do. Most people, when they miss a month, say some version of, I have ruined it, I might as well start over next year, and then they wait for January for a fresh start, for a version of themselves that feels ready again. And in the waiting, the goal dies. Here is what the people who reach their goals do instead. They treat a missed month the same way a good GPS treats a wrong turn. The GPS does not say you have gone off route, journey cancelled, please turn around and start from home. It says recalculating, one word, no judgment, no drama, just a quiet recalculation of the fastest route from where you actually are to where you said you wanted to go. When you miss a month, recalculate. Look at where you are, look at where the goal is, and ask what is the adjusted plan from here. Maybe you extend the deadline by 1 month. Maybe you increase next month's transfer slightly to compensate. Maybe you keep the same plan and simply accept that the timeline shifts. None of those options require abandoning the goal. All of them require treating yourself with the same patience you would give a friend who asked for your advice in the same situation. You would not tell a friend who missed 1 month of savings to give up. Do not tell yourself that either. There is one more layer to this, and it is the deepest one. The most durable financial goals are not the ones held by people who are trying to do something. They are held by people who have started to become someone. There is a difference between saying, I'm trying to save more money, and saying, I'm someone who saves a portion of every paycheck automatically every month. The first is a behavior you are attempting, the second is an identity you are building. Identity based goals are stickier because they reframe every decision. When an opportunity to spend appears, the question is no longer, do I want this, which is easy to say yes to. The question becomes, is this something the person I am becoming would do? which is a different, slower, more considered response. You do not have to feel like this person yet. Identity does not arrive fully formed, it is built gradually by the small, consistent actions that come before the feeling. Pay yourself first for 6 months, and you will start to think of yourself as someone who invests, and someone who invests makes different decisions almost automatically without needing to consciously fight every impulse. The goal is the destination, the identity is who you become on the way there. Both matter, both take time, both are worth it. Let me bring this all the way home. We started today with a notebook full of goals that did not survive. And I told you at the beginning that was never about you. It was about the goals themselves being built without the pieces that make them work. You now know what those pieces are. The what specific, exact, measurable, the when, a real date, not someday. The how, an automatic system, not a willpower battle. The why, written, honest, felt, the milestones, four checkpoints that make progress visible. The recalibration mindset for the months when life gets louder than plans, and the identity, the slow, quiet process of becoming the person your goal requires. This is not a guarantee. Nothing about personal finance is a guarantee, but a goal built this way has something a wish never had: structure. And structure is what allows effort to actually accumulate. Over the last 4 days, we have covered what money is, the biggest mistake beginners make, how compound interest works, and now how to set a goal that actually holds. Tomorrow, we take everything these four videos have been pointing toward and look at the investment that sits at the center of almost every wealth building conversation in the world: the index fund, and why it might be the only investment most people ever need. I will see you there.